I'm here to talk about what's been going on here. So, here there's been a warning of the idea that there actually is somewhere to get to. So for a small example, I'm on my break at lunch, and before when the sense of time was really like believed in and felt, there was this high almost that once you finally gotten to the time that you want to, it's time for a break or it's time to leave work, there's this release, there's this opening, there's this idea that you're getting somewhere, that it'll actually be different once you leave and once you go home and once you do all the things that you do, however you do it. But today, it's just really seeing clearly and fully, like, there's nowhere to go. You never had a choice. All you were trying to do was just relating to what was unfolding in a way that was based on your understanding, that was based on an idea of a fixed sense of self. It was based on an idea of there's something that I can gain here, that this isn't also already complete. So I don't know like if this is for everyone, but for me, like, the thoughts still arise. It doesn't go away here. I mean, and it can be quite loud and almost believable at times, but now it's just finally allowed. Like, there's less than of identification with it, and possibly with more time there will be less of a belief in it, because now it's just like seen so clearly, and now you understand that it never actually could have defined anything or meant anything, so random. But there is a good part to this, because now finally what happens is what was meant to happen. What happens was supposed to happen, sort of, in a way. Like, it couldn't have been another way, because it isn't, and to consider like how big everything is and how extensive your mind is and how extensive this universe is, how could it be incorrect that what was there was there? How could that be faulty or not whole or actually separate?
And then that's when she started flipping. No, I'm just gonna.
I saw a comment from another YouTuber I watch under their comment section, and there was a comment that said the distinction between the internal and the external world now is blurred. There really isn't a distinction. And for the first time, I'm finally like seeing that and fully experiencing the amazement of the mind, like how powerful the mind actually is, how it can take you out of time, it can make you feel more bound to time, it can bring you to places that and past experiences as if you were right there, simulating the feelings. That is magic. That is powerful. It's all based in survival. We're just very smart creatures, but now there's no distinction. So what's happening internally is also part of this. The thoughts, the distractions, the mind wandering and daydreaming and random. It's just random. It's so chaotic and random and energetic. But it's just allowed now, because what else is it supposed to do? I am definitely seeing the whole picture, if that makes sense, of what this can be or what this is. Because what's happening here is there is such a fullness and a wholeness that it doesn't exclude much, or it can't exclude much. And that's quite uncomfortable and quite whole. But that means that, like, when the bad emotions or negative feelings come up in those moments, there's nowhere to go. That is the fulfillment. That is the wholeness. And it always passes anyways. You know what I mean? So it's like, there's nowhere to go because you're already going. There's nowhere to go because you've never had a choice. You never had an actual say in what was happening, and you never had actual control and the behaviors of your mind and your beingness. You know, you're a creature. It's quite apparent you're a creature. Language is so, I think, idolized because obviously it's a great tool to communicate. Like, we've really come up with something quite extraordinary, but they're really not much different from other animals that communicate in their own little ways and how they make sense based on their biology and based on their mind. You know, what makes us actually separate? Just because we can understand our own language and mentally come up with constructs that are complex. What if animals can too, just they don't exploit it in the same way we do, you know? They just use it to survive, or they use it to communicate sonar waves, or they use it to hunt. Like, it's all the same thing. And words are powerful, and I think they are magic, you know? But nothing any more extraordinary than the animals that are here with us. There was a little puppy I saw earlier, and it's like, yeah, I don't know why we think we're better. It's just seen so clearly now what this actually is. There was never anyone here. Never. The distinctions are beautiful. The distinctions make it so, I think, flavorful and infinite and complex, but the distinctions really do lessen. Because apparently, there are differences, right? Like, you look different, you sound different, you think differently based on, like, your life's conditioning, but are you different? Are we that different? You know, the CEO and also the janitor, like, these two, you know, hierarchies, and there's such a belief system of that separation that, oh, well, the CEO is definitely different from the janitor. The CEO does things. The CEO can manipulate and control and be successful, and their mind is sharper or something. Whatever story is attached to that. But actually, did you know that the CEO and the janitor have the exact same wound, the exact same need? And it's just expressed differently here and there. So there is less of a distinction. There is a boredom almost with what is, kind of, at times, because it's like, it's so fucking predictable now. It's so fucking understandable. Even me, it's like, God, You know, you're so predictable. When it comes to like that child wound, when it comes to that vulnerability, like, and then what can come out from that, the need, and then the actions that follow that need, the seeking. It's okay. It is okay. We're coping, honey. This is a crazy thing. We are coping, but hierarchy here is believed in still, like, slightly. I mean, it's so subconscious. Trying to find the thing that makes me better than them. But it's cute now. It's like, oh my god, that's just from a place of need. It's from a place of like love almost, or not the known love though. A very unknowable love. Very unknowable. And it's also kind of gross and like scary. Like, why is there such a like a natural impulse to like make hierarchy, assert my place, and make sure that I am. And it's understandable, but it's like, yeah, that's how this works. That's what this is. All right, I don't have anything else to say. Yeah.